Hey guys, how's it going? Um, it's great to be back for another week. It's crazy to think that it is June already. I actually can't get my mind over what is going on and how quick this time is flying by. It's been so good being able to see some of my friends and seeing some of the people that I care and I love about. So I hope that's been the same for you. Hope you've been able to maybe see some of your friends while social distancing. Um, and staying safe, and I hope that's been a really good and beneficial thing for you. Today, what I'm going to be talking about is the Bible. Okay, so the Bible itself is a it's a collection of books that is made up of 66 smaller books, and within these 66 books, there are two sections. So there's the Old Testament and the New Testament, and the Old Testament tells stories all the way back before the time of Jesus. And the New Testament begins, and it starts going through the Gospels and start going through um, Jesus's life and some of the things that happen after that. And within the Bible itself, there's loads of different types of stories. There's stories of war, stories of love, stories of battles and healings and miracles and just incredible things. And the Bible can teach us so many things. The Bible can teach us so many different things from these stories, because even though it's thousands of years old, they're still relatable and relevant to today. The situations that we face day to day are still relevant. And so that's the first point that I want you to remember, that the stories within the Bible are relevant till today. They're relevant to the situations that you face in your life every day. Okay, so there's always going to be something in the Bible that can relate to you. There's always going to be something in the Bible that you can learn from. Okay, but ultimately, while there's loads of different stories, while there's loads of different characters throughout the Bible, the most important character is God. The most important character is God, and he stays constant throughout the Bible. And it's such a great thing to remember, that God is a constant factor in our life, even in uncertain times like this. God is certain. God is certain that he's throughout every page. He's throughout every story. God is the reason that the Bible was written. I'm not very good with my English, but you can you can look past that. God is the reason why the Bible was created. God um, spoke to different people throughout the Bible, and they were able to document some of the things that were going on at that time. And so it's so important that we read the Bible and that we read it within its context, that we read it the way it was meant to be read. And so I would, for some tips for me on how to read the Bible. Now, firstly, I will hold my hands up and say that I am no expert whatsoever in reading the Bible, and um, being constant in reading it every day. Um, I've always struggled with reading. I've always struggled getting myself into a routine as such, or being able to find a desire to read. So I know some people will be able to relate to that. I know some people absolutely hate reading, and it just reminds them of school, and it reminds them of things that they don't like doing. But honestly, the Bible is so much more than just a book. The Bible is it's a way of life. It's a way of learning. It's a way of learning to love and to deal with situations that are completely out of our hands. The Bible tells us all about ourselves while pointing us to the one who created us. And it's so important that whenever we read the Bible, that we look at it from the perspective of Jesus. We look at it from the perspective of how Jesus intended us to live, how Jesus intended us um to love our enemies, how to love our neighbors, how to love the people that are around us. And that's something that's so relevant to what's going on today with um the racism in America, and the riots that are going on. How do we love the people that are maybe different to us? How do we love the people um that aren't like us, or that we see different, but actually that we're all made in the image of God? And so those are some of the things maybe that you'll be able to read about and learn a bit about. Okay, so first tip, break it down. You don't have to read books in a day. You don't have to read 15 chapters in one day. That's it's not realistic. And I, for myself, I I never started out doing big bulky reads at once. It was always for me trying to read smaller bits. So maybe I started off with half a chapter, and I think half a chapter is a good place to start. And why not, whenever you're reading it, what I would do is I would read it once and I would pray and then I would read it again. Okay? And so in doing that, I'm asking God to speak to me to what I've read, for those verses to be brought to life, and that I would be able to understand in God's perspective what the Bible is telling me, what I am reading, and what it's all about. Okay, so it's really important that we actually ask for guidance whenever we're reading the Bible. There's different ways that we can read it. There's different ways in which we can read the Bible. And so firstly is the good old the the paper Bible with nice binding and whatnot. We can just pick up the Bible and read it like a normal book. But there's other ways, maybe if that's something, maybe you don't have a Bible and it's difficult to get one during lockdown. If you have a phone, if you have a smartphone, there's an app. It's literally just called the Bible app. It's like a wee brown logo with a Bible in it. And it's great. It has loads of different translations. It's really easy. You can add friends and have accountability partners for reading the Bible. And that would be something that I would encourage as well. Get an accountability partner. Get someone who can hold you to reading, and maybe even do chapters or books together, and then discuss what's going on. You can also listen to the Bible. The Bible, back whenever it was originally written, wasn't something that was handed out to everyone, wasn't something that you could go into the local shop and buy. The Bible was preached and it was recited. So something that was really common was for people to be hearing the passages, people to be hearing scripture, and to be learning it that way. And so listening to it may seem like you're cheating, but actually it's a really good way at hearing the Bible and to listen to it and learn it and understand it. And sometimes maybe people who struggle to read like myself, maybe this is something that's really good for you. Maybe this is a really great way to actually get down and read the Bible. So I just want to encourage you just to try and read, to try and find some sense in what is going on at the moment. Try and find some peace with what is going on at the moment. I know there's been many times where I've read the Bible when I've been in a place of distress and discomfort, and I know that God's been good, and He spoke to me through what the Bible has to say, and so He can do the same for you. So give it a chance. Why not try and give it an opportunity and read and see what God says to you through it all. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. If you have any questions at all, or want any more advice on how to read the Bible or a bit more about it, then don't hesitate at all to ask. Make sure you get in touch, and I'd love to have a chat with you a bit more about this. So hope this has helped in some sort of way. But yeah, all the best, guys. See you soon.